Late night talk show host Jimmy Fallon tapped as Jay Leno's heir. That's already leading to some late night bantering between the two. Here's Jimmy Fallon last night.
Before we get started, I have to talk about the rumors that came out today, which says that I'll be moving up to 11:30, or as my parents call it, still too late.
All right, here to discuss the late night changing of the guard is WSJ's media and marketing reporter Jannarone, right here beside me. We thought Fallon was going to get it, but they've sort of now said he's definitely going to get it. How does that change the dynamic in these late night wars?
Well, I think that this is all about youth and a generational shift. So Leno and Letterman are in their 60s. These guys are 20 years younger. 10 weeks ago, ABC shifted Jimmy Kimmel down to 11:35 to compete with Leno, and he's right behind him. It's super close, and he's ahead of Letterman. Now it is early, and there's sort of like an early sampling phenomenon when people get excited about something being new, but it's still pretty impressive, and it's undeniable that there's some of the jokes and these guys are just a lot older than the target audience, which is 18 to 49.
You've been on. You and I have talked about this a lot before. This sort of changing of the guard and the late night shows, trying to reach out to this youth group, and yet when they mucked around with these lineups before trying to do this, it hasn't always worked.
That's right. It didn't work with Conan. They tried to knock Leno down even earlier in the night and replace him with Conan, and it was a complete failure. So Conan wound up leaving and going to TBS, where he's doing okay, but so far it looks like ABC's move with Kimmel is working wonderfully. So it's hard to say how it's going to go.
What is it about Fallon, you think? I mean, you cover this stuff all the time. What is it about Fallon that people feel is so appealing, especially this younger audience?
Well, he doesn't really make many mean jokes. He's very lighthearted. I don't know. There's something. He's definitely. He's rarely very mean-spirited. So I mean that's my feel.
Johnny Carson wasn't mean-spirited. No, he lasted a very long time.
That's true. That's true. I mean, I think Leno's a little bit more snide sometimes. That's my take. But yeah, I mean, he's from what he did even before he had this show. He's a face that people know, and he's very hot right now.
When something like this happens and it gets put in the press or it gets leaked in the press or they even confirm it, what kind of pressure does that put on someone like Jay Leno? I mean, his contract runs through next year.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, end of 2014.
So what does that make him do when he's thinking about his next move?
I mean, look, Leno's a really rich guy. I mean, I think he has 3 dozen cars or something. So
so he's good.
Yeah, I think he's okay. But remember, he took a pay cut when he agreed to stay on for a couple more years.
Substantial pay cut, not like
it was a 50%.
Like serious.
Yeah. And the head of the network has said that the show is not what it was in the Carson days. So I mean, the viewership. I mean, I think that should be obvious, right? I mean, if you can put Jimmy Kimmel in there and he's already doing as well as Leno, I mean, that tells you that this is not they're not knocking it out of the park.
All right, Jannarone, thanks so much for being with us. Appreciate that.